Just having a look at all the hustle and bustle here from the safety of my lovely warm studio. It's absolutely buzzing out there. It's great to see it so busy. And as I've been speaking with my guests this morning, they've also said how amazing it's been to see such a great turnout. And I must say they've been singing the praises of the old Apprenticeship Suffolk team, Sharon, Ellen and Nyla there. So I'll be making sure to tell the great feedback we've been having. So I'm now joined by the fabulous Jane Barber, who is indeed Head of Skills and Quality. Yes, both skills and quality, would you believe it, at WS Training. WS Training are a Suffolk training provider who offer in-house training support. And like I say, with me now to tell me exactly more about it. My first question was, what does the WS stand for? But that's not very important. Is the lovely Jane Barber.
Hi.
Thank you for coming and having a little chat with me today.
Thank you.
So, like I say, what is it that you get up to at WS?
So we offer a whole host of different apprenticeships. We offer the traineeship, it's like the entry into the apprenticeship programme. We can support you as an employer if you're looking for an apprentice, so we can advertise that vacancy for you. Or we can help you once you've found your placement to be able to put you onto the apprenticeship programme as well.
So already today I've been told about science lab apprenticeships, I've been told about, would you believe this, puppet making apprenticeships, land-based ones, air-based ones, sea-based ones, everything. What sort of apprenticeships are on delivery here at WS Training?
So we offer a whole host of apprenticeships. So from the sort of the business skills, the customer service, team leader management, up to the level 5. We offer the warehousing, manufacturing. We can offer IT. We've got a whole suite of IT apprenticeships. We've got the digital marketing, the infrastructure technician, network engineering, cyber security. Those ones go up to level 4. So depending on what the apprenticeship is that you want, it depends on how we can bespoke that to meet the company's needs as well. So if there's a course that you've got a manager in a particular role, we can then look at actually added value qualification into that as well.
I'm going to just butt in here and say, when it comes to you saying levels of apprenticeships, what does that refer to? So
they start at level 2 and we offer them up to the level 5. So level 2 is sort of equivalent to your GCSE level and then all the way up to sort of almost degree level as well.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's what I was just trying to figure out in my head sort of thing.
Yeah.
So as a training provider, how are you supporting or promoting the apprenticeship pathways? What would you say the benefits of an apprenticeship is?
So the benefits are that you get to actually go out and you get a job and you get to learn while you're working. You have the employer support there with the off-the-job training. You have lots of coaching sessions from our tutors as well. So you not only have your one-to-one tutor sessions, you also attend master classes, you attend some commercial courses as well. Depending on what your apprenticeship is, it depends on sort of what other support we put in place. It could be if you've got an additional learning needs, we have an additional learning support coach, we have a functional skills person to support you. Really depends on what the individual's needs are and what their career goal looks like as to how we can bespoke it to them.
Really important to say is that word individual there as well. Yeah. Every single one of them is an individual.
When somebody enrolls, we do what we call the proposal meetings. So we sit down with the employer and with the apprentice and look at that curriculum plan and bespoke that to that curriculum, to that individual as well, and to what the company wants. So we'll look at actually ordering those units, ordering the structure of the qualification, when it's going to be delivered, how it's going to be delivered to actually meet everybody's needs.
And I think it's really important, like as a provider, you're providing that open discussion between both the apprentice and the employer.
Getting everybody's buy-in from the beginning, and then you can actually then work with the employer all the way through, because this is what they've said they want, and then we know what we're following to make sure that we can keep everybody engaged all the way through.
So I'm coming to you. I want to start an apprenticeship. Sorry. Tell me about the enrolment process.
Enrolment process, we have different stages. So the first thing is we would get your details. So mainly your email address is what we need to get things moving. We then send you through an online application form. You fill that in, and we then go for a series of initial assessments. So we'll do a maths and English assessment with you. We also do what we call our skills scan. So that looks at your current skills levels. And then we can look at having that discussion with the employer as well to say, do they agree with that as well? Or do they need to move things up a little bit or move things down a little bit, depending on what that conversation looks like. And then we can match you to the right apprenticeship. So we can say, okay, this is the right one for you, or actually you're probably a bit too overskilled for this one. Let's look at the next level up, or maybe the next level down. So we can make sure we match you to the right one.
So would you still refer to it as an enrolment process for taking on a new employer?
Almost. So they'd already be employed by the time they come to us, although we can support to get them into employment, so with the application and the recruitment process. But they would already be employed at that stage, so we would just be enrolling them onto the apprenticeship.
That's what you're there to,
Yeah.
So I'm interested to know about the endpoint assessment process, because I just spoke about that with some chaps from further education, and what a daunting experience that can sometimes feel.
Yeah, so we try to prepare them all the way through. So throughout the apprenticeship programme, over the months that they're on programme, we offer what we call masterclasses. So all of those masterclasses are preparing them for that. So it might be looking at presentation skills, their time management skills, their communication skills, all of those wider skills that will actually prepare them for that endpoint assessment. Once they're starting to approach that gateway stage, their tutor will work with them to prepare their showcase of evidence, do mock interviews with them. It may be that if they are a bit nervous, we get somebody additional from our team to come and do a mock interview, so they're used to speaking to somebody different. And then we'll sort of work them through, depending on what that assessment might look like.
So I've got my showcase in front of me here. What am I doing? What's my showcase of evidence?
So your showcase will be the work that you've collected throughout, and then what we'll do is we'll help them pick out the best bits and what's actually needed for that endpoint assessment, and say, okay, well, these are things that we think would be really good, and then take them forward with them to the interview that they might have at the end.
That's great. And I know, like we said, the endpoint process can be quite daunting, and I imagine going through all of that. What sort of general and well-being support do you provide while the apprenticeship is learning?
So we have our additional learning support coach, which I mentioned, and what they'll do if somebody indicates to us at the beginning that they've got an additional learning need, or maybe it might come up as highlighted throughout the apprenticeship programme, so it could be something that the tutor might recognise or the employer might recognise or they might disclose to us later on. We can then get them to put almost an individual support plan together for them, work with them on that basis depending on what that need is, how frequent that might be. It might be a referral somewhere, it might be that we need to step up the sessions, put additional sessions in place, additional equipment, extra time for an exam and a reader for an exam, and then we can put that additional support in place.
It harks back to that being an individual,
looking at what's going to meet their needs. We also have as well our quality lead. She's really good as well, and she'll do some additional support sessions as well. We have a functional skills support, so it really just depends. And we've got our safeguarding team, so if there is any additional welfare needs, we do almost a welfare assessment with everybody. So we're checking all the way through any welfare needs, anything outside of work that's concerning them. And then again, we can put them referrals in place if we need to.
Great. No, that's amazing to hear. You've answered questions that I didn't know I even had there. Jane, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
I'm going to let you get back out and network with everybody out there and have a lovely chit chat with everybody and a cup of tea. It's been great to speak to you, and it's, like I say, really interesting to hear from the perspective of a training provider. It's different. That's what I love to hear.